Alright guys, how's it going? As you can see, I have a webcam now, so just adding that, improve the mic, got the webcam, so improving the quality of these videos just a little bit. So now you can actually see me while I'm talking. Crazy. Anyway, so up $120 today. It was initially kind of a bad start, a red day here on mRNA. Again, either way, this is kind of I'd say for me, like in my personal, like the amount of shares that I take and the kind of how much I make or lose on a given day, like $120 is kind of a break-even area. Not a break-even area, but plus or minus 100, 200 is kind of I would say a small day on either direction, plus or minus. But anyway, so three names here that we're looking at, and mRNA is the first one, and I'll bring us over to that. Again, another day, another day, think or swim, that just doesn't want to cooperate and just doesn't want to show the trades. So I have this checked, and it just doesn't work, and it's not a big deal. It's just it makes it a little bit easier when it is working, so that you guys can see exactly kind of where I'm in and where I'm out. Oh well. So there's a couple trades here on mRNA, and this is where this is kind of where I go red on it. But initially, let's see, I think my first trade I ended up down $90 pretty quickly. So in at 153.03 at 952. So let's just take a look at that really quick. 952 is right here. Oh right, okay, so here I'm trying to catch the break of VWAP and maybe a push up back up to this area here at 157.80, but obviously we never got that. And I liked how this green engulfing candle came up and kind of engulfed this whole red candle, this whole pullback right here. So it looked like we were maybe gathering some momentum to break up through the VWAP, but we didn't get that. So I had to stop out on that one pretty quickly. So I took about a $90 hit on that one, and then tried it one more time here long at 154. I went long 50 shares, and then I remember I added 50 shares. I went 154.50. But ultimately had to stop out at 153.60 because, as you can see, it was a false break, a false break here, and it didn't work out. And sometimes they don't work out. And so once this came back, falling back down through VWAP, I set a order to buy 200 shares here at about 155.50. So the break of 155.50 was where I was going to get back in if it did ever want to come back up, because you've got this top here, and if it can get through that, then and this top kind of coincides with this bottom and this bottom here. So I think I was actually setting my order at about 155.60, and so if we could get above this level, I thought we had a good chance of making a run back up, but that's just not what today's looking like. mRNA is not looking like it wants to have a green day of any sort here. So once we got this kind of choppy action, I just stopped looking at it, canceled the order, and just put this one away. You got to just move on. So the next one I tried was DocuSign here, and it's funny because I thought eventually this was kind of the pattern that I was going for. This was, well, I'll just get into the trades. Let's a little disappointed on this one because you'll see here in a second. So this one was actually a short here, 100 shares here at 247.63. That is at 10:11, so that's right here on this candle. I went short, and this was a preemptive short position. I had this trend line marked out even before the market opened. I was examining this trend, and so this was a preemptive short in anticipation of the break of this trend line. And whenever you're gonna short, in anticipation of something, you want to be prepared for it to not work out. So as I'm shorting here, I actually had an opportunity, obviously, on this candle to take about $250 in profit on a 100 share short, which, hindsight 2020, I should have done. But of course, I was anticipating the break of this level, so I was gonna wait for the break. And really, I should have cut it. I should have cut it here, but I held on to it a bit longer, thinking, okay, this is natural. We're gonna get a bounce at this trend line, and then a second attempt, and it will break. And the second attempt we didn't break, and then I had to stop out here for a $37 winner. But that is, I'm not happy with that, because at one point during the trade it was up $250, and I could have taken that. And instead of going for an anticipation of the break, I should have just shorted and waited for it to come into this trend line, and just taken profit at the trend line, knowing that that's an area of support and knowing that it's likely to bounce, and just taking profit at that support level. Because once you get this close to a support level, more often than not, it will meet the support level. And so my mindset of that trade should have been to take profit into the support, not looking necessarily for the break of the support kind of on that first attempt. And when I say first attempt, obviously it's hit this trend line several times, but in regular trading hours, this is kind of the first real attempt of a break. Obviously, I don't know if I guess you could say this or this, but this is where it seriously is trying to break this level, and that's kind of what I was looking for. But oh well, I had to stop out of that one for a small win, but I kind of look at it as a loss, but just because I'm not super thrilled with how I traded it. But obviously now, here it goes down to 241. So this is something that I thought might happen, because you get, I stopped out here, and then it comes back down and tests again and bounces, and then we get a test of VWAP. And I wasn't watching it in here. I was in another trade at the time, but I stopped looking at it because it looked like it was, coming back up, and I didn't really want to enter along, because I still thought eventually throughout the day, at some point, it will break this trend line, because it's not gonna, unless it closes at 255, it's gonna have to lose some momentum here, and obviously it has, and this is a great move, and just, again, the right idea, but the timing is off. So what are you gonna do, right? Obviously, I suppose I could have taken this break. I saw it on this candle. I could have taken a short on this candle, but I personally, I like to trade the anticipation of a break, because you get a much better entry, right? So like, imagine if you enter at 247.22 versus entering at 245.22, right? That's $2 per share that you missed out on if you wait for the break to happen. And then what if it's a false break? You catch some support from 244.50 and come back up. Obviously anything can happen. And if you had shorted it here, you'd still be in the money. But again, I prefer to short in anticipation of the break, so that you get that that better entry price, and your stop can easily be 248 if you're entering here at 247. So $1 per share on that. But that's just how it is. I missed it, and these will go without you, and you have to be prepared to not get FOMO. Obviously, I'm not going to jump into anything on this right now. All right, so Snow was the last one I traded, and this was kind of what brought me back green on the day. And wow, I'm kind of looking at this now and thinking nothing. I don't know. But Snow had a really good, really is having a great day today, and you can see on the daily chart, this is definitely a freight train that I would not say that you should usually step in front of this, because obviously it's having a great day, and yesterday It had a great day, and it's a recent IPO, and it's making all-time highs, and there's really no telling how long this one can run for. I mean, it could go to 400, 450. I mean, we really have no idea. There's really just not enough technical. There's not enough technically to look at this and say that you know where it's going to stop out, where not stop out, excuse me, where it's going to kind of run out of steam, you know. So anyway, my thinking on this one was, I'm looking at it right about here is where I started looking at it. Well, I don't want to step in the way of this, but it's just made a run from 335 to 375. That is impressive, to say the least. That's a 11, almost 11% move on the day. And at this point, it needs more than just one of these small pullbacks here, and it needs to actually violate this 200. This is a 20 period, right? Wait. This is a 20 period moving average. Yeah. This red line is a 20 period moving average, and you know, a lot of times when you're in an uptrend, right, you meet the 20 period, and then you gather some distance, you push up, then you can short, comes back into the 20 period moving average, and then it gets some distance. So you can see that here. Gather some distance, comes back in, gather some distance, come back in, gather some distance, come back in, come back in. So that's kind of how these uptrends go. But eventually you're going to need to get a more severe pullback and actually breach the 20, because you can't, you know, once you're already up 11% on the day, and it's, you know, these moves don't just go on forever, all right? You need to pull back eventually. And what gave me the cue of this one is now running out of steam. Look at this 5-minute candle that forms right here. If you're looking at this right here and you see this 5-minute candle form, and that's this candle right here coincides with this 5-minute candle, and then you get I mean, this is a false break. This is a false breakout. This is a false break of new highs, because then we come back in and this 5-minute candle actually closes below the previous high. So what does that generate? It generates this top wick here. Now, of course, I say this all the time, anything can happen, right? You can get another 5-minute candle that just continues to push to new highs, but it's about playing the odds, right? I mean, I sound like a gambler or whatever, but really it's about making sure that the odds are on your side when you take a trade, and have a plan. You know, if you need to stop out, you need a plan. And yeah, so that's it. I mean, obviously here it's really quite simple. Your stop is the high of this green candle. So if you break above that, you're out, right? But look what happens next. I mean, this is really perfect 5-minute setup right here. You get a false break of the 5-minute, and then what happens? Big red candle follow through of the false break, right? And so that's what we get here. So let me show you exactly on the order, the orders here. So here we go. So snow. Oh yeah, I got filled like so quickly. Look at this. My first fill is at 30 seconds. It took me 17 seconds to fill my entire order of shorting 50 shares. So I shorted 50 shares here at 375.89 at 10:44. So right here on this pushback up. Now this is risky. I mean, but again, you have your plan to stop out if it breaks above this green candle. So this, you know, might look to you like it's, you know, getting some support here at the 20 once again, and is going to make a run back up to the high and possibly break that. But you have your stop in place. I'm shorting on this candle 275.89, so I'm short like just right about here. And then you see what happens. Boom. It's a bull trap. Bull trap. It's, you know, gathering the long traders, and then they all get screwed. No, but yeah, I mean, this is a good setup here. The false breakout and then the follow through, and you actually get follow through all the way down to 366. And I think my last exit was around in here, but I had some good exits down here at this low, and some good exits all the way around. But again, this one moves around quickly. I only shorted 50 shares. I mean, I say only shorted 50 shares. That's actually quite a bit, you know, for a stock that just went from 335 to 378, right? It's all relative. And This one is moving quickly, so you definitely don't want to take size that you're uncomfortable with, because as you can see in just a few minutes, 366 to 382, you do not want to be caught short on a move like that, or God forbid you short and you get in the way of a $50 move. Oh dear, right? That's a place where you can, that's irrecoverable. So you want to be careful on these. That's the point, and wait for the setups to kind of work in your favor. And this is one where you want to get out when you're satisfied, right? With the move has come in, and then you get this reversal candle, this green reversal candle, and then this green engulfing. I mean, you got to get out. You just got to get out. This is not one you want to sit around waiting for a miracle to happen, because you see the strength of this one today. And any stock that's gone from 335 to 375 can easily pull back and then continue higher and go to 400 or 450. I mean, just it's anybody's guess, right? Especially on an IPO stock like this. So this was definitely a risky trade, but it's just about having a plan and making sure that that the odds are with you, and that you have a plan, and you have a specific pattern that you are looking for to play out. So all right, $247 on that one. So that is good. Obviously, if I had held more shares, I definitely covered. Let's see, I covered 5 shares at a time so that I could really rake in that gravy as it's coming down. Instead of getting out in like 25 share increments or 10 share increments, I got out 5 share increments, so I can keep hitting join the bid, join the bid, join the bid, and as it comes down, the sellers are coming to me, and I'm getting that best possible fill. So 370 was my first take on that. So let's see, 370. So look at that. I mean, I left a lot on the table on the first shares that I got out, but again, here at 370, it's not exactly clear yet that we're getting that follow through. So you want to take profit when you have the opportunity, and then when it's working out for you, that's when you can, that's when you can be more, that's when you can wait for those bottom wicks and hitting join the bid and being a little bit more greedy with your take profits. All right, so that's pretty much it from me. Up $120 on the day, so very very kind of small green day here, nothing to shout home about. But another way to look at it too is I was down 163 on the day, which would have been a small red day, and I turned it into a small green day, and that's a good day. That's what I'm out here trying to do. Is just stay green. And if you haven't seen the November recap video, you should definitely watch that, because you'd see that I've actually read on the month of November, and so I'm trying kind of in December to really bounce back and eliminate some of the mistakes that I was making in November. So that's taking smaller size, that's taking profits when I have the chance, and I mean, gosh, the most important thing is just to cut your losses when things are going against you. And I feel like I kind of did that today on mRNA, and I feel like I got out quickly. And it's just that mRNA moves around quickly, or at least it has recently, and that means you can lose pretty quickly on it. So it's really important to get out. All right, yeah. So that's it from me. Today's Friday, so I'll probably well, let's see. I won't be back at it tomorrow because today is Friday, but I'll be back at it on Monday, and I may or may not upload a video on this weekend or something. I'll have to think, but we'll see about that. If you have any questions, again, join the Discord server, and be sure to drop a like on this video, guys. Come on, let's like it up. All right, new webcam, new mic. I'm out here, right? I'm out here for you guys, making these videos, and I don't know if they're helpful, but I think they're helpful, right? Even if you could not even be trading and just learn from these recap videos and not lose money. Wait for me to lose my money. I mean, I'm not losing my money, or I'm trying not to lose my money, but you can learn just from these videos and not even be trading yourself, and I think paper trading is another great way to kind of practice and learn. But paper trading only goes so far because, as I say, as well, it's my personal opinion that paper trading is, it's a vacuum because you don't have real risk, right? You don't have actual money on the line, so you don't, the emotional baggage, the emotional stress, the emotional obstacles in trading aren't really present in paper trading. It really doesn't matter what you do if you don't have real risk on the line. If you don't have your own money on the line, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So you really need to practice with your own money, in my opinion. Just take really small share size. Literally, just if you know, like, oh, this is exactly where I would exit, but I don't want to take a position here because I don't want to risk my own money. Just take one share. Just take one gosh darn share, right? And I mean, how much you're gonna lose on one share? I mean, obviously on Snow, let's say you short here at 338, and the trade just goes horribly against you, and you thought that you should have gone short here because, I don't know, your analysis was terrible. I mean, you're only losing, over $40 on that trade if you got in and got out at the worst possible entries and exits in the worst possible analysis on a trade you never should have taken, right? So, that's kind of the fact of the matter is if you just trade one share, right, what can go wrong? Not much. So that's my advice. Trade one share, and it's still your money, so you still have a little bit better connection to the trade rather than paper trading. But then you kind of want to size up to maybe 5 or 10 shares and put a little bit more on the line, so you get an even deeper connection with really how trading is, because so that you really get connected to the trade and you feel that that stress and that those emotions that are happening and going on while you're in a trade, because those are real, and those are real obstacles that you have to deal with when you're in a trade, and you're not going to get that if you're paper trading. All right, I don't know why I just went into a digression on paper trading. This is a 22-minute video now. I gotta cut it off, but like the video, come on guys. Sure, you can learn something from this one. And all right, so I'll be back at it on Monday, and hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good rest of your day. Hope you guys are all staying green in the trading world. All right, bye-bye.